Hello, my beautiful people. I hope you guys are doing amazing. This podcast, I'm mainly going to be talking about how positivity can impact your life and the importance of a positive mindset. I don't know, this is kind of all over the place. I wouldn't consider this a podcast, but I really do want to share some ideas and talk with you guys more. So if you want to consider a podcast, I guess it is. But you guys can comment some ideas on what I should call this little chit chat thing, because I want to do it more frequently on my YouTube. I guess I'm your host, Bria. I wouldn't say host, but like chit chat, talkative, whatever you're gonna call me. But my name is Bria, and I have been really into psychology lately, and I've been taking notes from podcasts, studies. I took a psychology class my junior year of high school, and I just find very little things very interesting, and I'd love to share them with you guys. I want to become an elementary teacher. I want to be a mom. That's my biggest dream. And so I love learning about emotions and how to deal with them, behaviors and all that stuff. And I've just observed a lot recently from podcasts and studies and all that. So the first thing we're going to start with is scientific stuff. I don't know what I'm going to stop. Why am I doing this? Get out. Okay, anyways, first thing we're going to do is talk about scientific things, because I know a lot of people can be very scientific and they love their science. So, first thing I collected from a little study I found is how your negative thoughts, change your brain for bad, and how positive thoughts change your brain for good. So, if you have negative thoughts, also if I'm looking down and reading my notepad, if you have negative thoughts, you might be chemically addicted, which is crazy. You might be chemically addicted to negative thoughts. If you think that you can't change your brain, you're just a negative person. A lot of people say, it's a negative person, I'm not a positive person. If you are constantly having negative thoughts, you might be chemically addicted. Studies found that neuroplasticity, I think that's how you say it, which is when your brain can change throughout your entire life. Isn't that cool? Your brain chemicals change your entire life. So think about a taxi driver in New York, right? They basically have their whole map down. They know all the streets. It might be 50 streets. They might know 16 different routes to one place. And they are just they got it down, right? But normal people on the street would be wow, I could never do that. They just look outside the box. They're wow, that's just not my job, so I don't have to handle that. They don't worry about that. But that's kind of how positivity and negativity chemicals in your brain work. Negative people are those people on the streets looking at the taxi driver. Positive people might be the taxi driver. They got it down, they're constantly positive. That's kind of how it is, right? Practicing positivity constantly for 4 weeks changes your brain activity, which I found amazing, because that's kind of how the bus driver or taxi driver and the people on the street are. It's basically, if you practice, if you want to change, if you want to become a taxi driver, because that taxi driver is not always, they didn't come out of the womb as a taxi driver, obviously. So they had to learn, they had to study their routes, they had to study their driving skills, they had to study their communication with the road, all that stuff. I don't know if that's a thing, but you know what I mean. They had to study, they had to get there and learn how to do that. They didn't just come out of the womb doing that, right? So that's kind of how, if you want to change, if you want to become that taxi driver, you're going to have to learn, you're going to have to study, and you're going to constantly have to practice. And that's how positivity works. So if you are interested, which I think you should, because it is literally proven, studies have proven that people who are optimistic about life live longer. That's physically proven. I think that is amazing, because it's cool that you can change your chemicals, and it just shows how much power you have over your brain and power you have over yourself. So if you want to change your mindset, it constantly is not 3 thoughts a day I'm going to think positive. Obviously that can be a starter, but that's not going to get you that far. You have 50,000 thoughts in your head a day, right? That's a lot. So you're going to have to really be intentional about those thoughts and really decide which thoughts are worth your energy. And if you can't think positive, think gratitude. Think what you're grateful for. That can literally alter your brain chemistry. So it's basically think about yourself as a bucket of water, bucket of clean water. As life throws stuff at you, because sadly I wish, life is not butterflies and rainbows and clean water and all that stuff all the time. life throws stuff at you that you don't really expect. And you can think about that as dirt water. So, well, I don't know what's happening with my voice. For example, if someone's like says you're fat, dirt in your clean water, boom, this is dirt water. This is my clean bucket. Someone says your goals are unrealistic, boom. You're lazy, boom. You can't do that, boom. You know, just things like that. If you go through trauma, boom. Eventually, when you have so much dirt in your water, it just becomes a dirt bowl. It just becomes disgusting, and it doesn't become clean and fresh. And honestly, what's even crazier is that dirt that's in your bucket might be from yourself. If you think about it, if you're talking to yourself like, I'm lazy, boom, today's not gonna be a good day. I'm fat. I'm like, you know, just all this comparison and hatred towards yourself, that you could be literally putting that your own dirt in your own water and just setting yourself up for negativity and failure and all that stuff. So that's why it is so important to be intentional with your words and how you speak over yourself. Are you speaking to yourself like a friend? Are you speaking to yourself like a hater? And that's why it's so important to not speak to yourself like a hater. Because you can be the nicest person. Trust me, I can be really mean to myself. Like, even if I don't show it in front of others, and I'm always encouraging like people around me, I feel like, to be confident, but I'm not that confident in myself, you guys. When I look in the mirror, let me just tell you, it is not all friendly stuff that I would say to my friends. Like, in fact, it's probably a hater, like a bully. I'm probably a bully to myself sometimes. And it sucks to say, but sadly, especially with girls and even guys, you know, we all struggle with some body image issues, and I think we can put that on each other sometimes, which sucks. But when we're struggling with our own words that we speak to ourselves, we're putting not only dirt in ourselves, but when we're insecure, we're putting also dirt into other people's water. So don't be that person, you know. And some people, and also like people who are negative, might just see that you have some clean water, and they will be like, I want that clean water, but I don't have that clean water, so I'm gonna throw some dirt in their clean water. And let me just tell you, like, when, as a smiley person, I've got so many comments that are like, you're always smiling, how are you smiling all the time? And honestly, I don't know how to feel about that anymore, because I think it's so normalized to feel so sad and frown all the time. And obviously you don't have to have a smiley face on your face all the time, but you know, it's just funny how people like judge you for that. And I don't think they mean it in like a intentionally mean way, in like a judgy way, but it's just like funny to observe, and like, I don't know, it's just kind of a funny thing to think about. But also, here's how it works, and here's how it kind of matches with the changing brain activity thing that I was talking about, is if you want to change your brain activity, you got to start somewhere. I'm going to talk about how you can help become more of a positive person. And once again, I'm no professional, and I'm not positive all the time. No person should be. Well, actually, you should try to be positive, if anything. And if it's a situation, let's just say your grandma's dying, which is awful, but it happens. And sometimes it's not right to be positive. But what you can do instead is be grateful, have gratitude, and actually gratitude is just something, a power and a quality that it's our biggest power, really, and it can get you so far. And sadly, I think the world has lost the power of gratitude, because it's just very materialistic now, and you just have to kind of, you're always on social media scrolling, you're always comparing. I'm always comparing myself and my life and what other people have, what you don't have, and you just want more, even if you have it good. And let me just give you some examples, because first of all, I believe perspective is everything. You have to have a perspective, and in order to change your mindset, maybe you're a negative Nelly that we're talking about and you really want to change it. And I just think one of the biggest things to become a more positive and grateful person is changing your perspective and getting out of your bubble. Because once again, if you are stuck in your bubble and you're constantly worried about your own thoughts and your brain and just like your life, you're never going to have it good, because you're not going to realize what you have. And let me just put into perspective why perspective is everything. An example is that those restaurants that you go to on a random weekday because you're bored and you want to try something new is the same restaurant that someone else has to wait an entire year to go to for a special occasion. That outfit that you thought was cute and you bought because you thought it was adorable, you just wanted it, is the same outfit that someone else has been eyeing on for months and they just couldn't afford it. They've been saving up for it. They just couldn't afford the outfit that you were able to buy. The body that you take advantage of every day, that you sit there and criticize and complain about, is the same body that someone is sitting in a hospital bed right now praying for. They're praying for your body. Who gives a crap if you're tan? Who gives a crap if you don't have any lashes on? Who gives a crap if you haven't had your hair done? Obviously those are little things that feel good, but take advantage of the body you have. Someone is literally dying to have your body. They're praying for it. I just can't, I don't know. Be grateful you're able to move your body and complain about it. Be grateful that you're able to literally complain about my hair color. There's so much to be grateful for, and I think that's what we've forgotten. We've so focused on, sorry, I don't have my nails done. I have I'm so pale, I can't wear this outfit. No, who gives a shit? And there's people that literally are praying for your body. They do not care if you're tan. Oh my gosh. So I stand by this, and I don't do it every day. I wish I did, and I want to start practicing it. But when you start doing gratitude every morning, trust me, life will get so much better. I did this my freshman year, and I was pretty happy with my life. Freshman year was something else, but it definitely helped me get through some of the hardest times. Just grab a notepad or even your notes app and just write 10 things that you're grateful for straight thing in the morning, even if life's not going good. Or if you're in a bad mood and you're going through something, literally just write down 10 things that are going good for you or you're grateful for. So here's some ideas. You can say, I'm grateful that God woke me up this morning. I'm grateful that I'm able to get out of bed this morning. I'm grateful that the sunlight came in and gleamed on my face. I'm grateful that I am able to eat a good breakfast, that I get to choose what to make, I'm grateful that I'm able to just grab my water by my bedside. I don't have to go all the way to a river to get a cup of dirty water just to get some water in my mouth. I'm grateful that I'm able to brush my teeth and get that gunk feeling out and just not feel dirty all day because I have a toothbrush. Just little things like that can just make you feel better. It doesn't have to be positive, but being grateful is a positive mindset. Anyways, that's just something that I love to do that might help out people that just can't get out of their head. Like I said, I love to move my body, and I've been trying to do that more because I've realized when I don't move my body, I just feel very lazy. And again, it's very good to rest, but I think the psychological part is that you cannot have stale energy in your body. You do not deserve to have that stale and gross energy laying in your body. So that means stretch your body. And a little fun fact is trauma and bad energy and just energy in general actually lives in your hips. So make sure to stretch those hips out, girl. Literally do a squat, do a hip extension if you have to. Stretch those hips. And once again, there's not really an excuse because there's so many YouTube videos, there's so many reels, TikToks that you can find. You can go to the gym if you have to, and you can do it in silence if you have to. Go outside, get some sunlight, and just stretch. And once again, I feel obviously do what you can. Not everyone can touch their toes, but I would say if you can, when's the last time you touched your toes? When's the last time you did a good squat? When's the last time you did a little lunge? Just little things. Stretch your neck, stretch your back, do a little downward dog if you have to. Just make sure to stretch because energy truly does live in your body, and it's so important that you release those emotions. And that's just something what I've been getting into, and I'm very excited for Sunday because I'm taking a yoga class that I want to get into, and it's just fun. And if you can, go to the gym, move your body. I know a lot of guys go to the gym because they want to feel fit and they want to fit in. But honestly, and same with girls, they want to get that slim waist and big booty, Obviously, who doesn't? But at the same time, it's very important that you just move your body. If that consists of just walking, you don't have to have the perfect body to start stretching and working out. Just go for yourself. Go to let that energy loose and just have a good time. Actually, second to last is be a thermostat, not a thermometer. And me and my mom talk about this all the time as well. Let me get water. Sorry, guys. Be a thermostat, not a thermometer. A thermostat is where you choose what you're going to feel that day. You're going to choose how you're going into this event. If for example, you're going to dance tryouts and you decide, I'm going to have a good time. You're going to have a good time. Let's decide, okay, I'm going to have a great day. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day because you've chosen to have a good day. So you're going to find anything and everything in the day to make it good, and you're going to look back and you're like, wow, that was the best day ever. If you choose to not have a good time, you're not going to have a good time. If you say today's going to be so hard and you list every single reason why it's going to be hard, it's going to be hard. You literally have the power to choose how your day is going to go, and obviously life can throw some little things at you that aren't so fun, and not every day is going to be great, but that's kind of what makes the good days great. So on those good days, choose to have a good day. And the thermometer is when they kind of are affected by everyone else's emotions and what they're going through, and they make it their own problem. So I can definitely be this way personally. I'm a very empathetic person, and so when someone else is crying or someone else is going through an issue, that issue becomes my issue. And so I think about that, and that affects my energy, and it drains me, and it can be so exhausting. And as a people pleaser, sometimes it can be really hard. I just say try your best to be a thermostat and choose where to go, and don't let little things change you. And I've been working on that, definitely, because I can definitely be a thermometer, but I know anyone could be a thermometer. Anyone can be a thermostat. Choose to be a thermostat. Don't let those who are not having a good time let you not have a good time. That's basically what it's saying. And last but not least, we are not made to do everything independently. I feel like there is this huge push that women have to be independent, and obviously it's amazing and a blessing that we have the opportunity to, be independent. Obviously, I think women should be independent, and they should not depend on everything for a man, and should have this whole thing, But at the same time, women or men are not supposed to be independent all of the damn time, okay? There is times and there's places, and community, our purpose is community. That's why there's so many humans on this planet. We are made to reunite with each other. We are made to make friends. We are made to make love and all that stuff. Okay, that sounds a little weird, but you know what I mean? We are made to love each other and find people that are our people, and it's just, that's the beauty of life. And you are not made to do everything independently. So don't depend on everything independently. And that also could mean being there for others. Speaking life into other people will speak life into yourself. Because if you're constantly speaking hatred towards other people, it's literally doing you no good. Hatred does no one good, you guys. And I don't know, shooting compliments is the best thing you can do, because I don't know where I was going with this, but let me just say, do not be afraid to shoot a compliment, because once again, the perspective thing, you really never know what anyone is going through. That's kind of where the compliment and speaking life into someone else can come in clutch, because if you speak a compliment, you might not think it's big and you might think it's embarrassing, but that literally might have made their entire week, and you never know. And just constantly saying a cute little thing, you could say, I like your outfit, and also don't think it's embarrassing, because there's literally no embarrassing part of being a kind and complimenting person. Just compliment them, and if you think it's challenging, just think about how that could have made their week. And if they don't take it, just move on and do it to someone else that you also feel there's no bad part. There's no harm in being kind and complimenting someone and speaking life into someone. And actually, when you speak life into someone, it speaks life into you. That's all I have to say. Just shoot a compliment. You never know how big it could be, even if you think it's embarrassing. And same again, if you're a faithful or a Christian person and you feel this urge to speak a word over a person that you think God is just pulling you, just say it. Just say the word. So anyways, those are just some things that I found really interesting that I've realized and researched and stuff. Let me know if you guys like this and you want me to do more, because I'm sure I could speak 1,000 more things, but I just don't have it on my notes right now. So anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Make sure to stay grateful, stay positive, and I promise you, everything will work out. Jesus loves you. You guys have a very blessed rest of your day, night, morning, wherever you are. And yeah, bye guys.